Ready when you are.
All right, everyone, thanks for waiting. So it's 2:07, and we'll go ahead and call the workshop to order. In attendance, we have Bob, myself, Flavia, Ed, and Carol, and Doug is absent.
Correct.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and we'll start discussions regarding the proposed park fee schedules. So I'll open to Carol. We'll start this way, if that's okay.
We're doing fee schedule first? You said? Or
Yes,
budget?
'cause it's-
Okay,
Budget and fees.
Because I guess we want to talk about fee schedule, so then we can implement the budget. If we talk about the budget, but then we have to change, you know what I mean? Okay.
I didn't have any issues with it.
Ed?
What I could read, I didn't have any issues with.
Bob?
That was consistent with what we've said. I don't have any issues.
I have no feedback as well.
Okay, so this is Chelsea. So what we would like to do is, I'd just like to give a compliment to staff here for the effort that we put into this. I'd like to acknowledge everything that the time and effort, the analysis. This is a starting point. I want to be clear. You know, we want to put something on paper and get started. We are going to evaluate this daily, weekly, monthly as we, open the commons and implement the things. What we'll need to do once we get to the normal meeting is set a public hearing for a future time and date certain, which we have that geared up for the regular meeting at 3. But I appreciate your patience as we see this through. So.
Looking for, what is the staff going to be looking for when they're evaluating this? What are the tools? Like, what is going to be the measurable items that it's going to come to us?
This is Chelsea. So the measurable things I would see, well, A is feedback from the community, from the public. So general concept is your membership gets you access, but it doesn't necessarily get you the additional programs on top. So the example I like to use is if you buy a pass to Disney or to SeaWorld, your day pass gets you into SeaWorld, but it doesn't necessarily get you to swim with the dolphins. You have to pay extra for that. And so the feedback on the programs and the cost of the programs, how many programs or how few programs are the measurable items, and then the whole guest concept is going to be
So I guess that's what I want you to think about, because if you're going to bring back to us to reevaluate, either 6 months, I think 6 months, it gives you a head start. Anything before that, I don't think is necessary. But what are we looking for? How detailed can that report be? We have 5,000 residents, 3,000 already came into and picked it up. From those 3,000, 1,000 are doing just pool only. And I'm assuming because we know what they are, we can eventually get to the point like what communities are utilizing what.
Yes.
So then we know what their needs are. Like maybe Bristol Park and Cypress Cay don't have a pool, so they're higher increase on usage on the pool. Like the more details that we can get as a board, so we can then tailor the needs for the community for the recreational part. I think that's the expectation that I would like to see, or direction for you, the staff. Like just give us a lot of detail. Usage. How are they getting used? Fees are the fees. The fees are not controlling if they're using it or not, because it's a free for all unless they're getting into a specific, items or add-ons. So I think for me, I would like to see when you come to us, not necessarily a feeling, but like this is it, and then we can
The data,
tailor
the raw
and say,
data.
okay, help us later on. Does that make sense, Paul?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
If I can just, for the record, Paul Flores, Public Works Director, to answer, just to add to Chelsea's comment. So we're going to be looking to measure participation, demand of our programs, and of course our operating costs. So those are the things that we're going to be looking on a day-to-day basis. Plus, we're also going to be looking at reservations, memberships, and also usage of our facility. So those are the type of measurements we'll be bringing back to the board for analysis and maybe some direction as we tweak and look at our fee schedule.
I think we're going to start this good because that's exactly what we're going to need for budget of the following year.
Agreed.
So we can allocate exactly money for what the areas are without having to make a lot of movements. So that's all I have. And then, like you said, this is going to be a starting point if we ever need to change anything. I don't oversee it something, like something that needs a change right away because of usage or because of anything else. Revisit with, 6 months. That's all I have.
All right.
Ed had something.
Yeah, Ed here. Yeah, if I'm outside looking at this, an owner, and I have a guest and I want to go play pickleball because the country club is full, take that as an example. Where do I go here to determine how much it costs?
So you're a resident.
I'm a resident and I've got a guest, outside guest.
You-
Where does it show what I have to pay for the guest to play the pickleball?
As of how this is written, you get one guest per member to take to the pickleball courts, no charge.
Per day, right?
Yes.
Per day, okay, okay.
And again, we could cut this, we've talked internally 20,000 variations of the things. And guest privileges is one of the big points of contention. So that is something we are going to keep an eye on. Back to participation, how many people are actually using it? Well, how many people are actually signed in and reserved these courts or checked in at this facility?
And again, what's the asterisk mean?
For
Under programming, there's a bunch of asterisks, but I couldn't find any ID of the.
proposed, up at the top is the key, just because it was a convoluted mess. So we just did a simple key of proposed.
We don't have it.
Oh,
Yeah, I was going to say.
oh,
Look at that.
it's not on the printed version. It's on the online version. You can see it up here. Well,
Oh, cut
I
it
zoom
off.
in.
And they
Okay,
didn't.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Sorry about that.
This is Carol. This is the middle of July, and I know from many years ago, when I had boys in football, they always started August 1st. Have we seen a decrease in rental for the fields over here for either football or soccer or anything? Or are they signing up again, or what is happening?
This is Chelsea. So because we are transitioning to switch the programs from Facilitron to Civic Rec,
Oh, okay.
ideally, we're trying to get Civic Rec up and live and functioning. I did see a post on the community page the other day that the leagues themselves are starting to get signups, which means they're going to be reserving the fields from us. Our goal is to get it in Civic Rec and have them put in Civic Rec, but worst case scenario, we'll run it through Facilitron if we don't have that transition in time. But
Well, we don't know yet.
typically, they do it what month?
Well, they started registering.
Can you just come up to can you just stand up? Thank you.
Jerry Runyon, Parks and Recreation. They started registrations, but we don't have any numbers yet. And we won't get that till probably around, I told them, give us till at least August 15th. Put
Really?
it into Civic Rec, yeah.
They don't start practice and stuff
Now, they don't start till
Oh.
around September 7th.
back in Illinois, it was always August 1st, man.
No, football, that's.
August 1st. The pads go on, yes.
All right.
I
So
don't have anything else.
there's nothing else about the fee schedule. We can shift over to the budget.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You have a couple questions?
Yes, Paul Flores again. Board, we have a few questions that we need some direction on. One is in regards to parking. Are we to waive parking fees for those residents that are ADA? So anyone with a handicap pass, are we to charge them the $2?
We're back on fees.
Yes, I'm sorry. We're back on fees.
Okay.
Just three things we want to clarify
Okay.
to get some direction.
But that's pretty
Do
typical.
you want my
That's very
answer?
typical for any parking that's public or that you pay for. If you're ADA compliant, you don't pay. You get on the beach, you got to pay unless you're in a handicap spot. Then you don't
So
pay.
that's what my question. So at the county, do they charge for, if you have a handicap flag for parking, do they differentiate that?
You differentiate.
I'm asking Paul, thank you,
Well,
Paul.
I'm helping.
That's a good question, Flavia.
Because I do
didn't-
not
I
believe
did-
so, because
did
I believe
not-
that would be following the discrimination on the other way around. But they get the parking spot.
What'd you do at the beach?
Do they have to have a license?
Oh, yeah.
Gotta
have the placard or the blade.
placard.
Okay, so we can address that question. So my experience at the beach was no, we did not charge, but they had to be in the ADA compliant parking stall itself.
Right.
If they chose not to park in the ADA stall,
Exactly.
then they had to pay.
If the ADAs are full and the only thing left is a regular, then you pay.
No, I just like to see what the county is doing for it, just for guidance, because I have no idea. I would just see.
You're not old
it's
enough
all
yet.
for. I'm glad that my age does not require me to be ADA compliant or not, Bob. Thank you.
I'm here for you.
Okay, thank you for that. And we will look into the county, see how they handle that. Next question is, are we waiving parking fees for events hosted or co-hosted or co-sponsored by the district?
Give me
I
an
was-
example.
The holiday, I would say 4th of July.
4th of July?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna go, the reason why we did this is to bring revenue in-house, right? So that is an opportunity that we're literally going to be say, there's an opportunity to us to make money to offset our costs to then benefit the residents. Let's go ahead and waive it so we can then charge the residents. So my opinion on it, the whole reason why we went with parking was to offset some of their costs. Why would I be waiving the parking? Does that? Because
I agree. I agree.
that's what we did it for.
But just not owners, not for owners.
How can you differentiate with
Owners
the
don't
car?
pay for the parking,
But
correct?
you won't differentiate it in the
For
car.
events, yeah, as long as it's an owner, then unless you're doing an event that you're going to charge parking for whatever reason, but if it's an owner, no
Okay.
charge.
Let me give another example. And correct, yes, if Gateway residents, they get their parking pass free of charge. They don't pay to park at the events.
Doesn't matter what event.
Yeah, exactly. Farmers market is another example. These are some of that it's not necessarily an event, but it's a program that we put on. And so now we're trying to entice people to come to the farmers market. And
You have to pay.
and now they're going to have to pay the $2 an hour to park. So these are all some of the questions that have come up. And if the stance is, it is, our fees are what our fees are, we're fine with that. We'll make sure we implement that.
We're going to find
Or we
conditions.
can- we
We
can come
waive it
back-
for everything, then we didn't make any money.
So that was the point of,
Or we can come back to this
I
at a
do,
later
I do
date.
think farmer's market, it would be an exception that I'll be willing to do because most of the people are not here more than 30 minutes.
Where's the farmer's market going to be located?
At the Commons.
At the new one?
Yes.
So usually, I've been to it. I mean, there, even if you visit every single booth, you're here for 30 minutes. If you eat, 45 minutes, you know? So that is an event that is a fast turning, a revolving door. It's not an event to let's sit and have fun. So top of mind, the holiday one will be the one that I would charge because we don't even know if they live in Gateway or not and we pay for it, right? 4th of July, I would charge. Farmer's market, me personally, I would waive. If there's a musical event, I would charge. Like any other event, I
Fishing
would
derby,
charge. I
we
think the
charge.
farmer's market, just because the length of time that they'll be utilizing, it's not.
How long
that
does it
Let
take to
us
buy
do
an
this.
unicorn?
So what we can do, we'll put together the list of events that we have scheduled for next fiscal year. We can bring that back in front of you and you can make the decision. Because in the parking rules, you guys have the authority to waive or to
Just
choose.
indicate what items are exempt.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Or could,
You had another one. You only gave me
No,
two.
I think that clarifies.
Okay.
Yeah.
on the farmer's market specifically, could you have a zone of 20-minute parking? You're going to get in and out, no charge. But if you're going to be there a while, then you go to the other spots. Just an idea.
Yeah, and that, I'm sure we could probably implement that, saying, if you're here during
But
this window,
The farmer market is only like 9 to 1.
yeah,
It's
so
not-
we
the-
could
The
say,
event itself, it's not even that long.
not charge parking during that time
Yeah.
span, and then if you're here before that or after that, it's
But
very
do we charge
flexible.
the people that are parking to sell?
Yeah. Well,
So if I'm a farmer selling my wares, do I have to pay?
the farmers, we partner with, the farmers market people pay us,
Yes, they pay us a monthly.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
So, yeah, all right, so Tony, I do have a question for you, because you probably, guys, for me, it's really hard, like, to focus. Regarding paying for just some guidance? I know they're gonna bring backs. What is your legal stand on charging handicap versus non-handicap for parking?
Only Pures, haven't checked that. I will do the research again just to see what the pattern or practices are.
You have no opinion?
No, I don't. That's the first time I've heard of it.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna, so I'll look it up now.
Well, you're here, so I figured I'd make you work for it.
No, while you're
Charge
talking,
us later for
I
it.
know.
while you're talking the budget, I can research that.
All right, sounds like a plan. All right.
This is Bob again, one last question on that, and we'll put it to bed. If the consensus of the board is, we'll conform to what the county does, or other municipalities, they'll be given direction. If it's anything different than free, and I know they're all free, but if it's anything different, then bring it back to us.
I'm fine with that.
Yep,
Thank you for that direction, Chelsea.
you guys are too healthy.
So, this is Chelsea. If you're, sorry, we're ready to move on to the budget?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is unchanged, other than Pelican and their subcommittees have had some discussions, and they're still discussing until this comes back to you for the public hearing and the final budget. So they've got a couple more stabs at it, but generally, nothing has changed on this budget. So if you'd like to go one by one, or if there's any further discussions you'd like to have, please be kind, because Laura is not here and this is her baby.
So I was Flavia Walsh here. So I would say this, all of us were able to review it. I think to be cleaner, we can go one by one. And if Carol has anything, no matter what page, we'll go over her concerns, and we'll go over Ed's, we'll go over Bob's, and then myself.
Okay.
Because there will be less of going back and forth.
Okay.
Would that be okay? Who wants to go first? Want to go first, Bob? So I
Sure.
don't make it Carol do everything first.
Okay, let me find my page with notes. On page 5 of 30, the very last item on the bar graph, or the graph, is GIS mapping.
What page?
5 of 30 or what's on the
Green
website?
fourth approved budget, 5 of
It's
30.
what on
Oh,
the, it's what's on the
five,
website,
okay,
yeah.
I'm sorry, thank you.
Allocation of 2027 allocation of shared cost. Okay, here we've got a charge of 59,000 for GIS mapping. And if I'm reading this correct, it has been allocated 50/50 between general fund and Pelican and enterprise. We together on that? Okay, what are we charging Pelican for? Pelican already pays 50,000 a year for GIS mapping. We do not participate in the second endeavor, and never have, and I don't plan on participating now.
So the question, Chelsea, the question is why are you paying additional?
Over the 50,000. Why are we being charged greater than the 50,000?
This cost is for basically the endeavor of having Tetra Tech take in all of our easements, all of our
We haven't
plastic.
decided on yet. We haven't decided to do that. We haven't canceled the GIS mapping contract with Passarella. So until such time as there's an offset, like we as a board transition to the Tetra Tech initiative, I don't want to be paid for anything.
Okay, that's,
That's my opinion. We're paying $50,000 a year.
So you're paying right now, this Ed, so you would be paying a third of 30,000, correct?
That's what this is asking for.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm saying, if you look further in the budget on the O2 account, we're already paying 50 grand. I don't want to pay 50 grand to Passarella and then turn around and contribute 20 or 30 or whatever to somebody else.
so Chelsea O'Reilly, District Manager. The Tetra Tech initiative is to get all of our GIS, all of our assets, all of our easements, all of the plats into Cartograph, into C-Click-Fix, to have one system and do away with the Pelican Passarella GIS. So that effort, the majority of that effort with moving all of Pelican's items over to Tetra,
Go ahead.
over to Tetra Tech, utilizing Tetra Tech, a big lift of that has occurred this year. There are still easements that need to be recorded and confirmed. They're looking at as-bills. They're looking at plats. all of these things and having one big system that, in essence, the Passarella GIS, because they've told us that they're not going to house it anymore, is going to go away. So your
I
proportionate,
understand the big portion, I'm with you.
your proportionate share
But,
is.
but everything you're asking for, we've already got in the Passarella GIS. That's already there. It's no more than an electronic transfer from them to here. There's
Correct.
not a lot of research, there's certainly not $30,000 worth of research.
There are still missing items on the Pelican side that, this is Pelican's share of everything district related. So the plats, the maps, the easements, that is the big
And we got
lift
that, that's already done.
that you do not have that.
We beg to differ, but okay. There may be some minor revisions, but we paid $50,000 to get it. Very simply, when that 50 goes away, when we stop paying Passarella, then certainly we'll participate in whatever it costs to run the system over here. Because now we've been doing this with Passarella for 15 years. So it's what you're doing in the district, what the district needs to do over here is to start and do it. It's very different than what we've already accomplished. You're trying to catch up, right? And then we want to move it in-house. And I agree with all of those things. But I don't agree that you're charging me twice. Everything's there for 50, and if it's not all there, you tell us what we want, we'll get it there. And once that's done, and we sever the relationship with Passarella, then it's appropriate to charge over
Bob, the
here.
intent is to move away from Passarella.
Give me a date when we're going to move, and we stop paying for the other system.
It should be as part of this budget. You
Well,
should
then, no,
not.
if that's the case, then we got to reduce the Pelican by 50.
I would strongly recommend that the Passarella,
That's
the
a-
Pelican's portion
That's a,
side.
that's a, that's
Be
a charge
reduced.
and a discussion that has not happened with PPAC.
Correct, because they produce their budget and present it up. Now, if they have one-offs, like we know that if you want to engage with Passarella to do additional research on specific things, like additional landscape easements or things like that, that is where that Pelican-specific GIS budget comes. But to host and to have a database, that is where this general fund shared allocation is that moving
Okay,
forward.
help me, I'm still not.
Flavia, so I think this would be something that I will agree with Bob in the sense that would remove out of Pelican. So it would definitely be a notation.
At whatever
for-
time it's
for-
appropriate, yeah.
If it is within this budget, that is definitely something that we need to communicate with PPAC, like in the sooner the better.
And that's not
because it-
come up yet.
Yeah, because, yeah, we have another meeting before the budget approval, so that, so if you reach out, if we have anything else. But that
let's-
is something that I would agree, removing from your Pelican account.
Because,
Be-
this is Bob again, PPAC is still actively engaged with
get it.
Passarella. This past week, we got another new map because of the landscape barriers and getting things like that updated and revised to what we're really doing.
I'm not privy to those communications, so I wasn't aware Pelican was still engaging with Passarella.
If you tuned into the PPAC meeting, you would find that because they're doing, I'm not being snide, but it's an active thing between Ed Hedges and them. And we're constantly updating. They're doing other things, related to fencing and all this other stuff.
Let's talk about that, because
Okay.
in my eyes, the board has already approved the task authorization with Tetra Tech for us to do all of this GIS services.
That I agree.
And so.
Didn't include Pelican. First time I've heard it included Pelican.
Okay, well,
I thought it was the whole thing. So I'm now gonna go to, I thought it included one place hosts everything. I think included Pelican.
I agree with that.
What I don't agree is paying from both ends, and I think
Right.
the reduction shouldn't be on this budget here. It should be on the Pelican budget by that.
As long as we're ready as a community to make the move.
Said,
But I've never heard anything that we're ready to make the move.
Why can't we go to Tetra Tech and have them identify what the estimated cost or percentage of cost is of addressing anything that has to do with Pelican? Be done with it.
That's,
Because if this has nothing to do with Pelican, and there is no cost of taking this stuff that Passarella has done and transferring over, and that's no cost, then I would understand why it would be zero.
Then I'm okay
But
with
if
that.
there is a cost, that's what I was understanding, that there was a cost associated with taking Passarella's data and converting it over.
this is Chelsea. We've incurred those costs this year. and we're doing these things in phases. So the initial push was to pull what we have over. Now this next push is to pull all plats, which you don't have all of the plats on GIS, to pull
I don't think I agree with that, but go
all
ahead.
easements, all dedicated easements to the district identified in GIS layers. Those are the two big lifts for next year
Have not been
that
done.
have not occurred. Now, could we quantify how many plats are in Pelican and how many hours they're gonna estimate and get it down to the penny? Yeah, we could.
I'm not willing to do that. If we move it in totality over here and don't use Passarella and then add whatever we want, I'm okay with that.
That's the intent.
Well,
We
again,
can-
go
we
right
can-
back to, then delete it from the P-PAC budget and I'm okay,
Agreed. I think we need to do that.
okay? Let's go to the biggie. And I have a couple comments on attorney's fees. Why do we have so many different columns for attorney's fees? Almost every sheet's got money. Why don't we just pay you a flat rate and you do it all?
Tony Pierce, for the record, from a standpoint of, I think, budgeting and allocation as to where it goes, there are discrete categories that we've created. One's general, one's for water and sewer, one's for drainage, one's for roads, one's for park and recreation, one's for Pelican Preserve. And then if we have individual litigation matters, we create a separate file for that to track it just for that file.
Well, it goes to different silos. Your fees go to different silos.
And I understand that, but can't we pay them $10,000, 3,000 is Pelican, 2,000 is this, 2,000, and identify the solids. I'd like to see a comprehensive approach, or at least from a budgetary point of view. What do we pay? When it's all chopped up on 14 different pages, I can't follow it. Just a suggestion. Well, wouldn't you like to know how much we pay them a year?
That's part of the system, I think, of when you do the silos, is that you make sure that you allocate the appropriate cost to appropriate silo. If he doesn't have any cost, let's say, take for roads, then there'll be no fees associated with roads.
Wait a minute,
But if it's
Tony Pierce.
all on enterprise, then it'll be all on enterprise.
Yeah,
So
Tony Pierce, for the record, for example, that whole idea, the issue with the oak tree coming down, since that was in a road right of way, and I put that to the roadway one. There's a separate discrete 7689.004, which we build to that. So that when.
Well, this is Bob. I'm not quibbling about the elements. I would just like to see a comprehensive cost.
This is Chelsea. So you'd like to see how much we can run a report and how much the attorneys charge us.
I would like to, and does it change year every year? Is it going up, going down? That's all.
Yeah, and Tony Pierce, I can quickly run client ledger sheets for each of those accounts. So you can see the amount annually and monthly.
Over time? Then I'd be fine.
We, Laura can run you a report based on attorney's fees, engineering fees, so on and so forth.
Yeah, I'd like to see it for
And
engineering
As a
too, right,
total,
yeah.
as a total, we can do that.
And a year-over-year comparison, we're going up and going down.
But with regards to putting them in the different silos,
Didn't suggest that.
okay.
I just want to
You just
understand.
want to know how much we've
I
spent.
see all these components
can
and
do
I
that.
can't understand.
We can do that.
All right, the next one, I'm on page 12 of 30. 27 operating budget, Pelican Reserve 02, and under expenditures. If you look at about the sixth item down, developer and resident reviews. We didn't have a charge in 26, and we're doing 5,000 in 20. What are we doing? Developers out of there.
No. On page 12 of what line item, I'm sorry?
In the middle of administrative services.
6 items down under admin.
So this is here. So we have, this is Chelsea again. Expenses we do have development reviews that are coming in. So we've got, we pay Tetra Tech to do our reviews. We collect any EAUs, money for EAUs. We have staff, we have expenses for the easement use agreements, but more so we've got Daniels Parkway Apartments.
This is a Pelican item. And I'm saying Pelican's done with this. Why are you charging me for a Pelican item?
So Pelican, let me ask this. Pelican pays into the shared allocation. This is Pelican's proportionate share of being within the district of all of our costs.
That's what I thought.
Well, then why is it under 02? Wouldn't that be an 01?
That will be your cost.
This is the,
That'll be your
Your
true
share of
cost,
that
that you're
cost.
sharing that cost. So you're getting 5,000 and then we'll get whatever it's.
And I didn't pay it last year, but now I pay it this
we
year?
didn't, we might not have had reviews last year. This year,
I don't know of any this year either, but go ahead.
Because you don't have a budget of, you just have budgeted, you don't have an actual. What is it, can you pull real quickly the financials for last month? Because you would know if you have this.
that's next.
And I recognize, Laura knows where this stuff is. So I'm just throwing the question out. I'm willing to wait for the answer, but I'm saying, I don't
we have-
understand that.
It's that, Bob, if you
Yeah.
go to page 7 of 30, under general fund, you'll see the same thing, only for 10,000. So it's the 1/3, 2/3 again.
Yes, it is the shared administrative
what I-
costs of, we have developer reviews that we incur costs from Tetra Tech and the attorney. The attorney has a separate fee that they charge for developer reviews. So as new developments come in, this is their shared allocation.
So every single item in this category is shared.
Yes.
We're going back to page 5.
No, I'm looking at page 12. We've got, 11 items there or whatever. And what, if I understand what Ed said, all this is a repeat of what was on 5 under shared. I didn't look at it that way. I will look at it. And then we got a charge for utility lift station further down on operational admin
225?
of $255. I was just wondering what is that?
Hold on, one thing at a time, if you
Okay.
don't mind.
Page 12.
So develop,
Compare them, they're pro rata all the way down the line.
yes, it is the shared allocation page. So I don't see developer reviews under expenditures. Flavia, you asked about that in the budget. I don't see that
And it
on
could,
here.
I mean, and without Laura being here, it could be an item that was in a different line item that now we just broke down to more details because I don't recall.
Well, but then it would have had a
seeing
past cost.
Well,
that. Not necessarily, if you had one item, apple, and now the apple is no longer apple, it's banana and orange, the apple is gone, banana and orange are plus.
It's the same item. There would have been
But it-
past cost.
If it's the same item, but if there were more than one items within that description, you know what I mean, the description itself, that's. what I'm
Well,
talking
we're looking for reasons to justify it. I'm seeing nothing one year, 5,000 this, and I don't know of any
Bob,
activity. Yep.
this is Chelsea. Let me look into this one because really there should be
Okay.
an offset of the cost revenue.
It should have been offset in a different category of $5,000 that
Okay.
will count for
We
that.
collect
But with
from the
lowering-
developer. So what happens is a developer comes in, I'll take the Gateway Church across the street. We have a pre-application meeting with them next week. They're gonna come in because they're gonna develop. So they come in, they submit their application, we all review, it's like a permitting process.
Yep.
We incur fees from the attorney, we
And
incur
we have a
fees
fund to
from,
pay for that, right?
and we incur fees from the engineer. Well, we collect those fees from the developer, so it should be an offset, but the actual expense, because it's a shared expense amongst everybody, it's back to your 1/3, 2/3. So then when we collect the revenue should be offset
1/3, 2/3.
1/3, 2/3. But we have to budget for expenses because we know we're gonna have expenses.
Okay, I'll come over and get a one-on-one because it's still not completely clear.
Okay.
And going on to the next page, 13 of 30, we're back to the GIS thing. It said we had an adopted budget of 10,030 in 26. I don't believe that's true. And it said the budget for 27 is 10,000. We didn't pay anything in 26. And if we did, well, we ought to get a credit back. Because we're paying 50 grand a year to Passarella. I don't want to be paying twice. And I don't recall ever having seen that being charged to us before.
Okay, this is Chelsea. The GIS mapping was in the shared allocation page, and that was shared across the entire district. So you're looking at things as.
That shouldn't have been, okay, in my opinion, since we've already got all the data and it's just an electronic transfer, we already paid for it once, paid handsomely over the years. We shouldn't be paying for the new one until we break free of the old.
To be clear, it's not free to transfer the data without having somebody.
$10,000, you can do a whole lot of electronic transfer for $10,000.
I want to be clear, it's not free because you still, the engineer is still having to spend time to do it. Their services are not free. like Passarella doesn't do things for free.
I know, but once they've done it, you don't
Take-
reinvent the wheel because you have someone else reporting it, being a GIS Tetra Tech or Marion, what's that fellow's name over here that does it?
Austin?
Austin.
But to be clear, we take it from Passarella and we put it into the GIS system. There's an effort and a cost associated to do that. Even though you think it's just a simple transfer, it's not a simple transfer. It's not just a download and upload. You have to do classifications of assets. You have to make it match into the new system. But we can talk about that offline.
This is Carol. You mean somebody at Tetra Tech is basically entering all this data again?
We've pulled it, oh, this is Chelsea. We've pulled it over. We make sure that the asset, whatever Passarella has called it, if it's an irrigation, that it talks to our new system. So there might be some tweaks, but for the most part, there's still an effort to pull it over and to upload. It's not just free.
Well, we could always align with their, why make a new category if they've got a satisfactory category? But we're getting into the weeds. I don't want to get. And last but not least, Lake Bank Restoration Fund for 006, page 17 of 30. Shows we are, how do you get there? We're going from 1 million in 26 to 9 million in 27. Did I miss something here?
We are anticipating, this is Chelsea, we are anticipating the
State funds.
state funds. So we have to put the money out and then we get reimbursement from it. So those 21 ponds that we have anticipated, this is.
If we don't get the state funds, it doesn't come back to us to spend the money, or?
We don't have a funding source. You would have to tell me of a funding source if we proceeded with the projects or not.
That's what I'm saying. If we don't get the state funds, do we get
Yeah, I would.
it comes back here?
Yes, absolutely.
When you say state funds, it's said, are you talking about grants?
Yes.
Okay.
The HMGP.
So of the 8 million increase, is that going to be in assessments? Because you said we got to put it out. Are we raising the average assessment for a gateway home by $8 million?
Because, no, it is offset by the proceeds.
But we don't have it yet. That's what you're telling me.
It's a cash floating mechanism. And Stephen, you can chime in at any point, but he's on hold. But it's a cash flow mechanism. We have to budget for the things. Instead of offsetting it with revenues from assessments, we're offsetting it with revenues from grant proceeds or what we call as loan
This
proceeds.
is Bob, and I follow you. And I'm saying, in the event the grant doesn't come through, it stops until we go.
Yes, yes.
Okay, that's all I
Yeah.
want to know. I thought,
I
it
would
looked like
not-
it was
You
in the
asked
assessment.
me. I said
I
yes.
would not spend the money
I was asking
without,
her.
So there's a decision to be made.
Well, it
Yes.
could be. If we
Yeah.
get the money from the state, there's no decision. We'll happily spend it in the form of a grant.
yes, there is no intent on doing those without having the grant monies. We will wait for the grant monies.
Okay. I think that's all I had.
Carol?
I don't have anything. I think I personally am comfortable with the high water mark figures. I know that PPAC is discussing exactly where they're going to budget certain things for next year, if they're going to put off doing one of the big ponds and collect and only assess for 300,000 as opposed to 600,000. And it makes a difference in the way things
Some of the
turn out.
assessments, yeah.
So it's line item adjustments, but the adjustments would make a difference to what is levied as opposed to what is budgeted for spending. But they're still discussing that, and they know they have to make a decision. There's a ponds committee meeting before we meet again on our final budgeting in August. So I think we just need to give them time to work through all of the different possibilities.
So if you can go to page 19, I just have some questions. And
Page 19.
so, right, oh, down, go up, go back up. Okay, sorry, right there.
Give me a minute
So-
to get caught up, wait a minute. I can't read you.
I hear you.
One of those ADA things again. Okay, I'm on page 19.
You're not using the right term. It's not 88, but it's okay.
Handicap. You'll be old.
All right. Difference between vehicle maintenance and vehicle operations.
Fuel,
That's what I thought. Okay, I just want to make sure. Any particular reason why our vehicle maintenance, because we didn't get any more vehicles, literally double? I just look at items that literally we doubled in cost. So that was one. We went from 11,000 to 20. I mean, we double.
I will have to get with Laura and get back to you on that.
That's a one.
So I, in full transparency, I don't know if this is a methodology mechanism.
Oh, me neither. So, so if you want to write this down, so that's my question. So vehicle maintenance double, cellular service double,
That ties back to staff.
we double in staff? Because that's how I look at it. We double the bill for cell phones, that means we have twice as much cell phone, that means we have too much staff, and we don't.
Vehicle could be, they said, vehicle deal just could be an age issue and in addition to numbers.
Okay.
So that's,
Like 8-year cycle
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
vehicles.
But it wouldn't be under operations, it wouldn't be in there, if it was a site, you know what I mean?
Okay,
It's the
it's
time.
capital.
So, exactly, so the vehicle increased just because it doubled, the cell phone because it doubled, I thought maybe it had to be with Parks and Recs under having to have more camera, more sales items there, I don't know.
I'll find out.
So that's just a question.
Okay. Well, the cellular service right up here, it only went up $1,000.
No, there's. and
Says
then
7,000 what I'm reading. Cellular service,
Are you under, are you on,
page 20.
Tony,
Utility.
maybe under telephone and fax,
are you
that
under
went up.
utilities?
No, I'm back, I'm
I'm on
20.
utilities. You're on 20.
I thought it was 20, hold on.
So you don't 20 at all.
This is Tony, I think on
just
page
say it again,
18,
the
the
other thing
telephone
on those
internet
vehicles, it
was
could be if they
9,000.
run out of
18? Yeah,
warranty,
okay.
you've got additional expense.
What is it, 18?
Bobby? You're under telephone? Telephone,
Yeah, you
internet.
went from 1,300 to
The
9,000.
new admin building. We have the telephone, fax, internet, getting services up there. Lines up there, 2 different service lines up
We're not
there.
eliminating lines.
We will
down here to
at
offset?
the Fairway Lakes, but we're putting in 2 new lines, and the contracted service for new services up at the new site is more expensive than what we have now at the Fairway Lakes
Is
office.
the service more expensive?
Yes. The
Only
service is
2
more.
lines?
For 2 communication services to the admin building.
Is this with Comcast
I
business?
think we're doing both. From what I recall, Laura was gonna get a CenturyLink and a Comcast line. That way we had redundant internet at the admin building. That way we never lost communication. Just like what we have here. But this contracted amount, which was done like 10 years ago versus the new contracted rates that we're getting, is a lot higher. That is, but I can confirm with Laura for the
My
next meeting.
personal experience is that my internet and phone are going down, not up. We're getting better deals.
Please send me whoever your person
Yeah,
is.
we're with Hotwire, but I'll be happy to.
Yeah.
Commercial, because it's,
It's residential, it's a package deal.
no, because it's not a company. Like for my gate, I pay 3 times more than the internet for my gate, which is just used to the call in, is 3 times more than I pay at my house. Just because it's commercial.
And you don't beat them up?
Ours is the same way.
Yeah,
every
it's
gate.
just because it's commercial. The service is not, doesn't really change. It's just one is commercial and then one is not.
I will make a note of that and we can get you an answer at the next meeting.
Then, IT licenses. And I have it on page 19, but I can't find it now. Oh, right. So billing IT licensing fees, we had none and now it's $12,000. What, I thought we were doing,
Page 19, it's 30,000. Oh, no,
no, 19.
excuse me, I said it wrong.
Yeah. So I thought, like, are we changing our billing?
We changed, we had to upgrade with Kuzi this year to be compliant, but I will find out exactly what, that, I believe that is the Kuzi fee with the new system.
But isn't there a $30,000 offset at 2 lines up?
No, this is something else. This is just for billing IT services.
I'm with you. But if you look 2 lines up, billing IT support assets management, didn't that, or just support, one of them's dropped 30,000. I kind of looked
So
at
maybe
those two as an
note, like,
offset.
I guess for me, notes on this offset, like how, you know, how you used to have notes like this offsets this line, so I would know. And then,
Gave you the clean version, we didn't give you the
no, it's
edited.
okay.
It, to my knowledge, it is where we had the upgrade of Kuzi with the billing IT.
That's it. That's how I was just looking at stuff that increased by double. And then, given that we're going to take, are you planning on doing any reduction, given that we're in a trial for the new minutes?
I
mean, it's something so small, we just leave it there for now, but
I would leave it there for now. We did have some additional incurred costs to get Copilot licenses, Microsoft Copilot licenses. I mean, nominal, but it's, in the long run, it's gonna be far less than what we were paying Infomark to do the fees, to do the minutes. So,
I don't have anything else. Anybody else miss anything? Nothing? Okay.
Madam Chair, Tony
Yes,
Pierce.
Tony.
Just on the parking issue, I've gone to the Lee County website where they give the premium parking information for various facilities. The downtown Fort Myers Lee County parking, they have all these rates, and at the bottom, there's a note that says, vehicles with accessible parking permits or license plates are required to pay standard parking rates. Parking is free for disabled veterans with vehicles that have a disabled veteran license plate. That's the parking lot downtown.
Okay, so Bob, so it's disabled veterans, not disabled.
Signs that, I've never seen that sign.
Yeah, and there's another sign, but Lee County Parks has a different standard. Lee County Parks, vehicles with a disabled veteran license plate, specific mechanical modifications for disability accommodations, and those with a Florida toll exemption pass don't need to pay.
I would be fine with that.
Yeah, that seems like that's broader, and that's the same thing for Lee County beach parking.
As recently as a week ago in Sanibel, it's free.
Well,
Without
you said the
the-
county, now you say San,
Well, that's part of the county. Yeah, then you
somewhere in Florida, just pick Winter Park.
charge them.
So that's just Lee County's premium parking
I will be
website.
open to the veterans because we did have, I don't know if you guys recall, 2 meetings ago, we did had a gentleman that was asking Phil Malatorno, wow, good memory. Oh, vitamins are,
I'm surprised you were here 2 meetings ago.
right? He did mention about like if they were willing to do anything for veterans, so that could be something that would
I would
satisfy,
definitely support that.
you know what I mean? So,
That's our perk for him.
yeah. I mean, if it's actually not initiated by us, it's initiated by them asking, I'm fine.
Certainly not many of them.
so the direction was still to follow the Lee
Follow what you
counties.
have
Well, Lee
provided.
County- Lee County parking lots or Lee County beach parking, because the beach parking has the different one with regards to the vehicles with specific mechanical modifications for disability accommodations, and those with a Florida toll exemption on top of
Well, they're talking about
it.
the ones that have the ramp that come out.
Yes, correct.
Well, I'm
Or
not-
like
I'm
the-
not into
yeah,
that,
I'm not
but-
in- I think I'll be fine waiving for veterans.
Disabled vehicle-
Disabled, yeah,
veterans
veterans with
license
the
plate.
disabled vehicles with the tags or license plate.
Yeah, you're just handicap pay.
I'm not gonna say it because Tony will yell at me and it's not appropriate. I leave the inappropriate stuff to you. All right.
I'd have
We'll
to
go ahead and
disobey.
take a recess of 5 minutes and come back at 3 o'clock. All right, thank you.